As you may have seen, county auditors recently testified down in Columbus on some policy proposals that we are looking at to be able to give direct relief and direct help to property owners right now during all of the different updates and the property value increases that are happening across the state. Now, the policy proposals that we as county auditors are kind of united behind and are proposing, they're not going to be the final end or the final solution to the property tax system that we have in the state of Ohio. There are some real deep, some real systemic issues with the property tax system, but some of the policies that we're proposing and testified for, they're going to be able to give direct relief and direct help now to property owners, because the real estate market is not slowing down. It's only getting bigger and stronger. And what that means is that as values increase over the next couple of years, we're going to see even more issues and more crises with our property tax system. Some of our proposals that we shared during testimony: Homestead is that credit for seniors, those over 65 and people who are permanently disabled. It gives you about a little over $25,000 off the value of your home in terms of a credit amount. And as we've been cutting the income tax here at the state of Ohio, which is a good thing, and we've been moving some of the expenses of local government over to the local level, unfortunately it's been on the property tax side. And so our seniors haven't been seeing the benefit of the income tax, but they have been seeing the full brunt of higher property taxes. And so this is one that we all agree as county auditors is a no-brainer and something that we must do: greatly increase the homestead credit to give direct relief to those who need it most, which are those on the fixed income, those who are seniors and want to retire and live out in their home. Greatly increase homestead. We also propose allowing auditors to have more say in the values, going by neighborhood with our numbers first, because we see the sales, and then having the State Department of Taxation kind of check us and watch over that process, instead of them telling us county-wide what percentages to move and then us having to essentially meet with their determination. We think this will give a little bit more specific numbers and direct help in terms of where the market's been moving. Also, the owner occupancy and the non-business credit. So right now, every property that's not commercial receives about 10% non-business credit that's actually reimbursed by the state of Ohio. So your taxes are 10% lower because you're not a business. You can see this on your tax bill. Also, all properties where the property owner owns the home and lives in it and has filled out the one-page application receives the owner occupancy credit. Now that's only about a 2% or so savings. On average, it's about $40 or $45 for most property owners. Our proposal is direct help, direct aid to those who own their homes and live in them, and keeping this revenue neutral. Ideally, we'd be able to keep non-business credit, greatly increase the owner occupancy credit, but to keep things revenue neutral in terms of no more expenses at the state level with our state tax dollars, our proposal is to eliminate the non-business credit, greatly expand the owner occupancy credit to a fixed amount that probably increases with inflation. So now those who own their home, live in it, get a much higher credit and a much more direct credit through the owner occupancy, and that gives them the relief in terms of owning their home, living in it, staying in it, more of that direct aspect. We have a menu of other options, things like income tax credits when your property taxes get above a certain percentage of your income, for example. I really like that idea. There's also budget commission aspects, and there's more community direct kind of relationship with certain abatements, or making sure that us not having exemptions and abatements for certain properties doesn't raise the actual property tax rate for others. That one's very important too. A lot of different menu of options. And the 20 mil floor, remember, that's the aspect with schools where if their tax rate is below 20 mils, we actually raise their tax rate to 20 mils, charge all the properties in that district the difference, and that's applied directly to your new value. That doesn't get decreased as all of your other voted levies get decreased. Our proposal would be to limit that increase with rising values. Your tax rate's going to go down, and so your 20 mil floor is going to greatly expand in terms of the expense to property owners. Our proposal would be to limit that expansion either through an income tax credit or through some other constitutional means to actually greatly tamper down the possible increases to schools in terms of their tax revenue due to that 20 mil floor issue when values go up. And we kind of close our testimony by reminding folks that this is not just a blip where values are going to go back to pre-COVID levels. Property values are likely here to stay, and the market has not really slowed down in terms of what people are buying and selling for. And so we have to address these straightforward policy proposals now to give direct relief, and then look at more of the systemic, more of the deep issues within our property tax and really how we fund our local services down the road.